What's cracking? I'm Nick Danger and you're now tuned into the Art of MV. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching the video. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on the way in. Subscribe to the channel and do me the biggest favor and leave it all in the comment section for me, man, right? Today, I got a short video on how to MV, quote unquote. Since this is a misunderstood piece of gear, people can't differentiate from whether it's a groove box or a drum machine or a sampler or a standalone or whatever. We're going to tackle two things. The first is going to be basically how to sample. Now, the deeper part of that is going to be left to another video. But what I mean by how to sample is that learn how you want the sample to play or react in here, right? You may want to start out the sample inside here and manipulate that way, but you may want to go to outside sources. You may want to go to outside sources to get that sample, i.e. an SP sampler, or importing a wave, or sampling something from the Phantom, or sampling yourself, right? Sample yourself. Kind of like what I did with the with one of my tracks recently, where I sampled it from the MV, then chopped it up in the SP555 as parts, and then sequenced those patterns to later on be loaded back into here or back into there. But it's just a process. It's just capturing a performance. Just look at sampling yourself as capturing a performance. This works really good if you know how to play instruments, but it even works if you're not a real musician. Take myself. Well, the instrument I wanted to play was bass. So I learned to play bass guitar. And this is a good thing to sample bass into. Why? Because it has a whole guitar pedal section and effects modules that you can apply to the input to make that bass sound even better, even amp models, right? But for a guy who can't really play keys, I'm not a keyboardist, and I just can't do it. I don't know how to do it. But like the riff that you hear playing behind you now is just a phrase that I actually played, right? So let's stop. Let's get over here. No. Okay, here's the exact same phrase right here. Here's that same phrase. Dun, dun, dun. Just me playing a VST and recording that VST into the MV8000 on the audio tracks, right? But now that I have that sampled into the into the SP555 as a simple audio phrase, I can do so much more with it, right? So let's say I want a little turnaround. Reverse. Right? All from this little phrase that I got from here. Just playing and make sure I captured it the right way, right? Another instance of that would be now in this instance, I just programmed some keys on the Roland Phantom. All these are keyboard parts from the Phantom, but notice the electric piano behind it, right? The horn, the guitar, but listen to the little keyboard part. Boom, ba-da. A little bit more. Ba-da, ba. That's all just simply programming a keyboard. So if you don't know how to play keyboards, you're going to have to learn to program keys. And this takes a little practice, but arm yourself with some kind of notes where you can actually, if you get stuck and you need a B, you need a B minor, you need a B minor 7, you need an A whatever, just turn to here. When I see this, I just start trying stuff, and then eventually it'll lead to something like this, right? The cool thing about now is that, man, let's think about it. You only really have to program 3 minutes of music. It's not much. Now, of course, I'd love to be Herbie Hancock or Bob James on the keys, but I'm not. So I rely on programming keyboards and then turn around and sampling that into another unit, using it as a phrase, and so forth, right? Then there are other times when sampling comes into play, right? You go through your records, you see what you got. Like I told you, I love sampling piano simply because I can't play piano. I'll never be Bob James. I'll never be Herbie Hancock. I'll never be Chick Corea. I can play chords. Capturing that performance consistently is a problem. So I sample myself, right? Even in this instance right here, once I get this sample that I want out of these assorted samples that I'm checking out in the audio example that I'm playing now. So here are the eventually is what I chose. A little passage from Bob James, ran through the SP555, a little bit of processing, right? But another thing that I did to this piece was place a ghost note in it when I decide to use it as a phrase, right? So check out how I use it. There's the sampled phrase right there, right? What you don't hear is the ghost note. So there's a ghost chord. I went and found another similar piano in tone on the Phantom, and I played one ghost chord to make that sound just a little bit different than it sounded when I sampled it, and that's why it fit the way it does. Boom, 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 blah, boom. That other ghost note, you barely hear it, but it makes the sample complete, right? So those are two instances of one, sampling yourself, and programming keys, right? Now, let me show you another example. All this goes in the same direction. Just follow me. One thing I like to do is sample yourself in 2 to 4 bar pieces so that you don't have a long time to actually have to play and have to keep your tempo. As a keyboard player, somebody who does not play keys, your timing is going to be off. So sample yourself in 2 to 4 bar increments, right? So on here, I hit again. And I'll just keep looping that, and then I got another chunk of it that makes a little turnaround. Now, could I play that again for you? I doubt it. I doubt it. But I played it well enough to sample myself once. Once again, electric pianos straight from here. And then you can go on and make all kind of phrases from that, right? So, so add a little dirty compressor to it. you got your little loop, right? Play a little guitar to that, put some other samples in it, put some scratches in it. Do whatever you may. Do what you have to do to get the job done. But this, I'm telling you, I don't know how to play keys. I just know how to program a keyboard and sample that, and then make it seem like I played the keys, right? This is probably why I really never got too far into sample packs. Because, I mean, it's hard for me to have somebody make a piece of music for me to sample. You might as well just collaborate on a track, right? So those are two instances. Now, in regards to the MV1 Verse Lab not being able to play keys, is a little different. This actually, if you hit the shift, okay, this is a note. You take a patch, a melodic patch or melodic sound, tone, or a tone instrument, and usually you can hit shift and style here, and then divide it into major and minor chords. Right? So, and then you can drive inspiration from just that. Just from having that, all that started. Right.